Hello, everybody. My name is Hadwad, and welcome. Horse. To understand horse, I'm gonna have to go back a little bit. I have a pretty decent background with competitive gaming. I played Overwatch and Super Smash Bros. For my college, but outside of that, I haven't really done anything competitive since. Shortly before I graduated, I got really into Pokemon Showdown, the format that restricted the big scary legendaries and made it so it was like a bunch of regular Pokemon fighting. It really got my attention, and I played a lot of Showdown in that time. And at the time, Champions wasn't out, but it was on the horizon. So I got really excited. I wanted to hit the ground running with this new series, and I started watching a lot of videos. I watched a lot of Wolfie's videos in particular. He's a great content creator, so you should go check him out if you haven't already. I subbed to his Patreon, and that's when I saw he was hosting a tournament. Horse. It was a really interesting format. Basically, it was all of the Pokemon, excluding restricted Pokemon, that could learn high horsepower. So I was really captivated because I'm like, this is a really interesting tournament. So I spent a lot of time theory crafting, and I believed the thing to beat was Tyranitar and Excadrill. It felt like such a classic combo that it was going to be everywhere. Like, that was genuine. I was so confident in that. So I built a team just to beat that. I had the core of the team was going to be Rhyperior and Rillaboom. The idea is Rillaboom was going to come in with grassy terrain, and it was going to be a grass nuke. Grassy terrain also reduces the damage of Earthquake, so it was like extra insurance against Excadrill Tyranitar. But more importantly, the grassy terrain was going to set up Rhyperior with Grassy Seed. So you can immediately see what I'm doing here. I'm giving it super bulky defenses, and then giving it body press. So it's a fighting type nuke. It was going to do crazy damage into anything that it could. The team had some other Pokemon in it, like Ursaluna with Guts. I wanted a Guts Pokemon. I was really considering Heracross, but I chose against it because I felt like it'd be too frail. So I went with Ursaluna with Facade, just like the classic, what you would expect an Ursaluna to have. And I also had a Gliscor that kind of was like a support utility Pokemon with stuff like Tailwind, Rock Slide, and Knockoff, but also having the Sustain with Toxic Orb, Poison Heal. And then my last two Pokemon were kind of weird. I had Regigigas with Wide Guard, Icy Wind, and Knockoff just to kind of be there as a bulky support. And then I had Cetitan with Life Orb, Sheer Force, because I thought that Ice Shard would retain the benefits and be able to do crazy damage. It did not. Ice Shard does not get the benefits from Sheer Force, so I basically chipped the damage on myself with it, and it was a good idea on paper, but the whole team was just theory crafting pretty much. So you may be wondering, how'd you do at your first tournament? Did you excel? Were you the GOAT? I was not the GOAT. I was a fraud. I did not win a single round at the first tournament I participated in. I'm going to be honest, I think I lost before I even went in, and there's two big reasons why, and I'm going to talk about one of them now. All my theory crafting had me believe that Tyranitar Excadrill was going to be the thing to beat. In reality, the top three most popular Pokemon were Rillaboom, Farigiraf, and Ursaluna Blood Moon. You can hear the disgust in my voice as I say that name, because it genuinely dominated the game. It was so dumb. So yeah, all my theory crafting kind of meant nothing, as I didn't see a single Tyranitar or Excadrill in all of the teams I played against. So my Pokemon didn't do great at all. I think I was in the bottom 5 out of the 100 people that were in it. And you might be sitting there and saying to yourself like, oh, it was your first tournament, nobody wins their first tournament. My first opponent went 9-1. He won the whole thing. So it was really humiliating at the time. I walked away really frustrated, and I was humiliated because I was like, hey, do you guys mind if I make a video over this? And they were like, sure thing, Hadwad, make a video. And I was like, I'm a fucking fraud. I am ashamed. But now that time's kind of moved on, I feel a little better about it. A little. It was a really good introduction into being humble, and in reality, I didn't practice. I could have gone to the Discord and asked if people wanted to practice on Showdown, and I didn't. That was entirely on me. That was something I had complete control over, and it would have definitely influenced the team I ended up with. Now, I said that there were two big reasons. Number one was I built the bad team and I didn't practice. But number two was a little less outside of my control. You see, right now I work 12-hour shifts, and it's like from 6 in the evening to 6 in the morning. The tournament started at 9 a.m., so you can immediately see the problem. I'm working a 12-hour shift, staying up for a couple hours, and then getting to play. Now, I genuinely didn't think it was going to be a problem at the time, but I'll tell you now, you're not going to be thinking the same as if you got like a full 8 hours of sleep and then you immediately started playing like after a little bit of warm-up. So yeah, it's a little outside of my control, but in reality, it's just what it is, you know? If I want to compete, I genuinely need to just work on a different schedule, which is hard to accept, but it is the truth. I guess the third thing I learned was giving it some space after a really big loss like that definitely helped. Because after I started playing after I started playing Champions, I did a lot better than I used to on Showdown. And even in that tournament, I was doing really well on there. I haven't played too much of Champions since, like the first couple days it launched, but yeah, it's definitely given me it's definitely made me more aware of what I need to think about when going into a tournament or going into any type of competitive scene. So yeah, I don't really have too much else to say. I'm not really going to talk about the actual tournament as a whole because that's not really what I'm here to do. I'm here to talk about my experience, and I hope that you can take something away from it. That'd be good. So yeah, if you like my content, be sure to like and subscribe and do all the YouTube things. I'm not really going to be doing too much VGC stuff. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? But at the moment, I'm just going to do what I enjoy. I'm going to do some Alien Isolation. I do Dead by Daylight. Whatever I'm enjoying, I'm going to do, and I'm going to share it with everybody. So, yeah. Maybe I'll do another tournament at some point. If Wolfie does another tournament, I'll definitely do that. But, yeah. Be sure to like and subscribe and do all the YouTube things. And, yeah, if you enjoyed, do that. If not, that's okay. Don't do anything. Just leave. In a good... Okay, this is... All right. Have a good one. Have a great one.